The relationship between a man and his dog is a sacred bond that can be greater than a relationship between two humans. Sometimes, however, we face obstacles that could keep us from being with our best friends. Hear the story of Jack Daniel, a lab that got the worst possible health news at one of the worst times of the year. His story meant a lot to us today, and we want to share it with you. Dogs are loyal, caring, and kind animals. They never hurt anyone unless they feel threatened or they're scared. Some people even believe that dogs are too good for us and we don't deserve such loving animals. That's definitely true when it comes to a dog known as Jack Daniel, a yellow lab from Chennai in eastern India. Unfortunately, Jack got some bad news about his health, and his chances were grim from the start. When dogs are sick, they don't know that they are. They just feel different. That's what happened to Jack when his owners discovered a lump on his neck. The lump could have meant many different things, but being the loving owner that he was, Jack's dad decided to get him help for the lump to make sure it wasn't life-threatening. Finding a lump can really be a scary adventure for a little pup. When Jack went to the vet, he found out that he would need to get the lump removed. A lump on a dog doesn't automatically mean a death sentence, but it's definitely better to get it removed as soon as possible to make sure nothing worse could come from it. Unfortunately, Jack doesn't understand all of this, so having to go to a vet and get surgery can be pretty traumatic for this four-legged friend. Life would be so much easier if you could just tell your dog exactly what's going on. That's probably how Jack's owner felt when he realized he'd have to keep him at the vet's overnight to get the surgery he needed to potentially save his life. Jack couldn't understand what was going on, so in his eyes he was being taken from his home and put in a strange place he didn't understand. There was something else happening at the time as well that made things even harder. When Jack Daniel found out he needed to get the lump removed from his neck surgically, it also happened to be Christmas. This is the one time of the year that you're supposed to spend with friends and family and keep loved ones close. Instead, Jack had to leave his home and undergo a strange and scary procedure that he didn't understand. Luckily, Jack's story doesn't end with this traumatic surgery, but that doesn't mean it's smooth sailing. Luckily, the lump came out fine and Jack was able to go back home with his dad. That doesn't mean Jack's pain was over, however. He still had to deal with the scar from the surgery and some patchy shave spots where the vet made the incisions. Once Jack got to go home, however, none of that pain mattered. Jack isn't the only one who had a hard time while he was gone. Jack's owner shed some tears throughout the entire thing. A dog is a member of the family. Once he found out that Jack had a lump in his neck, he had to deal with the fact that he might end up losing his best friend. Luckily, that wasn't the case, and the two had a tear-filled and heartfelt reunion. After this ordeal, Jack isn't letting go of his owner, literally, as you'll see next. Once Jack saw his owner, he started hugging him and wouldn't let him go. He went right up to him, sat his bum on the floor, and wrapped his arms around him. What he just went through was terrifying and traumatizing. So once he gets a hold of his owner, there's no way he's letting go now. He's permanently cemented to that spot and never leaving his owner's side again. If you think this was adorbs, we're nowhere near finished here. At first, his owner didn't want to give him a full hug. Not all dogs like to be embraced by their owners and can feel trapped. Jack didn't care. Once his owner realized he wanted to hug back, he squeezed him tight and didn't plan on letting go. He seriously looks like a little kid sitting there hugging his dad. If he had clothes on, we might be fooled. You have to see Jack's face next. The way he's looking at his owner and resting his head on his shoulder seriously makes us want to burst into tears. Sometimes when dogs get hugged or get too much affection, they look scared, nervous, and awkward, wondering what exactly is going on. Jack looks happy and at peace to be in a loving embrace with his dad. If you aren't ugly crying yet, let's look at one more pic. At one point or another, you've probably tried to get your dog or cat, if you're brave enough to hug you. Most pet owners know that not all animals like this and will usually use their paws to push off your chest. But not Jack. He has his paws placed delicately on his dad's shoulders and isn't planning on going anywhere anytime soon. After what he went through, we don't blame him one bit. Jack's lucky in more ways than one after that surgery. Not only was he lucky enough to get out of the surgery happy and healthy, but the fact that he has a great owner to come home to is all the more special. Some pet owners treat their animals like accessories or playthings, but not Jack Daniel's loving dad. He was able to have the money it took to pay for the surgery and had a warm and welcoming environment waiting when he got home. Unfortunately, not all dog surgeries turn out okay. Luckily enough for Jack, he got the lump removed and didn't have to worry about it again. Some of us will go our entire lives without having to have the type of surgery Jack did. If you've gone through something similar, you know how scary it can be. So imagine going through it as a dog. There's something else about Jack and his owner that's special. Not everyone will have the experience of having a relationship like these two. Look at the way his dad hugs him and gives him kisses. Whoever this man finds as a life partner better hold him tight and not let him go. It can be hard to find an affectionate man that's not afraid to shed a few tears for a dog. What they have together is a bond that should truly be envied. What do you think of this most endearing photograph of them all? Did you ugly cry, or were you able to keep it together pretty well? Their story's simple and one that a lot of pet owners go through. But the way that Jack reacted when he got reunited with his owner is inspiring and emotional. It's not every day that you see a relationship like this between a man and his dog. Share with your friends to brighten their day.